A Skyping we go with Caprice Smith. She's Mrs. Corporate America 2014. Today on the PageantCast.
Welcome to the PageantCast, your home for beauty pageant news and interviews on the internet.
Hi, I'm Bashara Dore, Miss Wisconsin USA 2014, and you are watching the PageantCast, the internet's first podcast about beauty pageants. And here's your host, Tim Kretschmann.
You're watching the PageantCast. I'm your host, Tim Kretschmann, broadcasting from beautiful Muskego, Wisconsin. And on the Skype line tonight, we have another one of our beautiful guests. This is Caprice Smith. She's Mrs. Corporate America 2014. Hello, Caprice.
Hi, Jim. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you on this show. Now, where are we calling you tonight? Where in the country are you?
I'm calling from the home of the Ravens, Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay, well, we're Green Bay Packer country here in Wisconsin.
I'll hold that against you.
That's okay. We'll just we'll try to find a way to get along together. So, tell me, Caprice, what got you started in pageants?
You know, Tim, it's so interesting. I am a retired police detective.
Okay.
And I wanted to remind myself that I was a girl because I spent so many years in uniform and just dealing with a lot of the harshness of life.
Okay.
So I tried something different. I wanted to find a way to have fun, to stretch my branding and my name, and I stumbled across Mrs. Corporate America pageant. And it's the only pageant that highlights women in business. So it was so perfectly matched. To me, I had to compete.
Now, you said you were a retired detective in Baltimore. Do you know Andre Braunauer or any of the folks from Homicide? That was my favorite TV show.
Oh, wow. You know, that's so interesting. I was working so hard, I never got a chance to watch it. I don't think
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
that was
time in sex offense.
Yeah, that was Baltimore, and one of the best shows on TV for many years. I loved that show. Okay, I'm amazed. It was so Baltimore. It was always bringing it out. Oh, fantastic. Now, I hear that you are on something called the Baltimore Best List. What's that all about?
Oh, my gosh. So I have launched a nonprofit. It's called Sharper Minds. I launched it with my husband, and we're dedicated to empowering families and teens about dating and domestic violence and healthy relationships. And it was named one of Baltimore's best. I was also awarded so many awards, thankfully. I'm just getting a lot of favors, seems like. But I was also awarded top minority business in the Mid-Atlantic region, one of 100, during 2010. And I've been named as a best entrepreneur by one of our local papers here. So it seems that my name is always in the media.
Fantastic. Now, I have to ask you, I went to your website, I did my research, and there's a lot of discussion of uncuffed living. And now knowing that you used to be a police officer, I think I'm making some...
It makes sense.
It's starting to turn in my head a little bit. But for our viewers and for those that haven't gone to your website yet, what is uncuffed living?
Well, so essentially, I am a survivor of dating and domestic violence, and I watched my mother go through unhealthy relationships for several years. And as soon as I launched a nonprofit, I met a lot of women like myself who they were kind of pretending to have it all together, but they didn't really have it all together. So what I did is I told my own story. I wrote my book called Uncuffed Behind My Smile, and it's a Griffin story. I told everybody's business, my business, my mama's business. I had to have a discussion with my husband, like, honey, there's some things in there. So what I realized is that there are a lot of women that are still struggling with real life issues, and they are hiding in shame and they know how to deal with it. So I developed a system that teaches them how to be happy, successful for real, and really live the life that's called for them so they can compete in pageants.
Fantastic. Now, where can they find this book?
Absolutely. If they visit capricesmith.com, they can find it there. They can also go to Amazon.com. It's one of the featured books there, and it's going to be on our Mrs. Corporate America webpage as well.
Fantastic. And if you're looking for those links, I'm going to point right down there, right below the video in the show notes. You'll find links to her site, to Corporate America, and I'll find that on Amazon as well. We'll put that link in there so that you can go directly to Amazon and pick it up. So fantastic. That's great. Hey, we got to take a quick break. We're going to be back. It goes quick, doesn't it? We're going to be back with Caprice Smith, Mrs. Corporate America 2014 in just a moment. Don't go anywhere.
Thanks for joining the most beautiful audience on the internet, the PageantCast audience. This is Misty Raymond, Mrs. Galaxy International 2013, wishing you tiara dreams.
Now let's take a look at what's going on at Amazon.
Pageant girls are always on the move. You can use this Griffin Powerjolt dual universal USB charger in your car to charge 2 USB devices, your mobile phone, your GPS, anything you can think of, or your friend's mobile phone and GPS as you make those appearances.
Before you purchase something at Amazon, come to PageantCast.com first. Click the link that looks like this, and we get credit for the sale, and you help out the PageantCast. Thank you!
See all the stars at Global United Pageant. See all the stars at Global United Pageant.
We're back. We're back into PageantCast. We have Caprice Smith, Mrs. Corporate America 2014, on the line with us. Now, tell us a little bit about your pageant experience at Corporate America. Now, I believe it's held right in Orlando, Florida, isn't it?
It is, right on SeaWorld. Now, so, this is the story, Tim. When I went there last year to compete, I was by myself. So I kind of had to hide the fact that it was at SeaWorld when I was telling my 4 sons all about the experience. Made me promise to take them back. So I'm pretty excited that my husband and my family, they're going to be joining me when we return. I'll have to crown a new queen. I don't want to say goodbye to this beautiful piece of object here, but I'll have to let someone else have the experience. But pretty much it was a very exciting. I didn't realize how competitive I was. And to be crowned, it almost took me by surprise. Every woman thinks she's the queen and she's the winner. But as you're competing, it gets to be a little overwhelming. And so there were times I didn't think I would be the actual queen, but when they crowned me, I was like, wow. And since being crowned, Tim, I have to be honest, I've been on the Dr. Oz show, I've been on Wendy Williams, I've been all over the country speaking about the Uncuffed system, as well as telling other women what the crown has done for me. It's broadened our platform. Just amazing.
The Corporate America system, what are the phases of competition?
Oh, it's pretty strict. We have a panel interview where you are interviewed by at least 5 judges, and let me tell you, that room can be very frightening. I am an interrogator by trade, but to go in that room and have to kind of sell myself, it was like, whoa, this is pretty heavy. So there's a panel panel interview,
right?
And then you have an on-stage question, and you're not prepped. Like sometimes you're prepped in other pageants.
Right.
Yeah, it's really kind of off the cuff. And then you have to do a performance on stage, and this is pretty exciting. Some people call it sportswear, but it's kind of where you show your stuff. The reigning queen before me, she did nunchucks performance. I did a whole Uncuffed spiel where I came out of my inmate cell clothing, and I was, symbolizing my new life. Mm-hmm. And so you really can get very creative about what you show the crowd. And then you have of course, the evening gown, and you have sportswear. So it's just a fun pageant.
What's your favorite phase of competition?
Believe it or not, the challenge of doing the panel interview, because it really showed this was not just an ordinary pageant. And now I'm not discrediting any of them. Trust me, I have a newfound respect for them all. I had no idea how difficult it was to be in a pageant. But the challenge of sitting there and really hearing myself reflect to the judges why I wanted to be queen and why I would make a good one, it was just so exciting after the fact. It's like, yeah, that felt really good.
I noticed you said by the way. You tried to sneak it in, but you said off the cuff a few times in your answers. If you thought I wasn't going to bust you on that, you're not the cop I think you are. Try to sneak that past somebody else.
So you're an interrogator.
I'm the detective here, okay? This is my box, okay? So, Faye, you actually brought something for show and tell. What do you want to show us here?
I wanted to first show the copy of the book, Uncuffed, and I want you guys to see that's my big, bold face on the cover, so there's no mistaking if there are other titles out there by that name. I'm not sure if there is. But I also want to show you one of my most prized possessions right here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'll do a...
There you go.
There you go, Mrs. Corporate America. Let me tell you, this is the sash and crown that you want. When you walk in the room wearing this sash and crown, people automatically know that, wow, brains, beauty, and business. And in fact, I remember being at the African Embassy, and they paraded all the queens around. They said, well, we want her because she can actually give you a job. So that was pretty, it was pretty exciting. It speaks for itself.
Now, you've mentioned a few things, but what type of appearances have you all had this year?
Oh, we have done so many. We've done a lot of the interviews, just like similar to the ones you're doing now. We have been on different television shows, different radio shows. We've been at the Vietnamese Cultural Fair. We've gone to the African Embassy. We've actually gone to different soup kitchens and volunteered. We've spoken out to domestic violence victims. So it's really an era of community service. It's not all about parading around fancy in the crown. It really is giving back to the community. I remember going to the Katie show and having my crown passed around and seeing other women's faces light up because they were in the crown for that moment. They were the queen. So it's just life changing.
After you have to give up the crown, which, by the way, are they going to need extra security that night?
Security, because it's not going down easy, Tim. It's not going down easy. Tactical skills.
So after this year, what's next for you?
Well, so I'm going to remain a part of the Miss Corporate America pageant family because of how they've embraced me. It's just unbelievable. I have to say hello to one of my favorite family members, Tone. He's a part of the MCA pageant, and he was just phenomenal. Whereas my family wasn't there, he just picked up the pieces. Him and Shauna, the whole family. So seeing that, I want to model that for the next queen. I want to be her support. I can pick up the phone right now and call any one of the MCA pageant members, and I'll get the support I need. So I want to be that person. But also, I want to enjoy my retirement. I just retired after 20 years, so I'm going to enjoy it. I am one of two domestic violence advocates with the Baltimore City Police Department, so it really is my passion. I'm just going to move forward and use my life as an example of where a survivor can go.
We're just about at the end of the interview. Are there any things you want to make sure that the viewers of the PageantCast know about your year of service?
Yes, I would like for them to know that it is an experience like no other. I'm telling you, through my 20 years of law enforcement, through raising my family and being married for over 15 years, this is something specifically for me, and it's just so exciting to have something that I get to parade around in the crown. My kids is like, oh, they're like, oh, you have an appearance. They get so excited, and I have all boys, so it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful to be the queen, and I would love for every woman to experience that. We have this special mompreneur section, and with that, you can actually nominate another woman. So if you've never thought about it, it's not for you, you can nominate another woman in business, in corporate America, entrepreneurs. And we have less than 6 months. So I want everyone to get really serious about competing and hop over to the website and just see what it's all about. And check out our YouTube page and just get to know us, because we're just a fabulous system.
Fantastic. Hey, thank you very much for making the time tonight, Caprice. Now, one of the things we like to do at the end of our shows is to see your best pageant wave. And don't worry, this is graded. We're very, very carefully graded. So I'd like to see your best pageant wave.
Awesome.
Lay it on me here. Let's see it. Let's see it.
The Miss America pageant. So this is the build-up. Shoulders back, hands up.
Okay, that's completely off screen. Okay. There you go. Okay, that's the wobble. She's doing the wobble, folks, so she's a wobbler.
Wait, I need my bracelet. Let's try it again. Show
Okay. Okay. There. Okay. Yeah, it's still the wobble. That's the wobble. Yeah. They have names. It's kind of like wrestling holds. There's a name for it. It's not a suplex. It's the wobble. So.
Is that good or bad?
It's just the type.
Okay.
We got a couple. I personally love the blur. That's just favorite, but it does look like you have a nervous disorder. All right, fantastic. Thanks so much for coming on the show. Good night and Tiara Dreams. Tiara Dreams.
Tiara Dreams, everybody. Tiara Dreams.
PageantCast.